Afternoon or good morning, depending on where in the world you are. It's Be Live in 5 with myself and Bridgetti, and we're just going to come on screen now and take down our logo. Hello, Bridgetti, how are you?
Good evening, Stephen. Hello, everyone. It's Bridgetti here from Cape Town in South Africa, and welcome to the show.
And I'm Stephen from Wiltshire in England, and this is the Be Live in 5 question and answer session. And we have somebody who wants to ask a question and is about to join us, so we'll take our first question live. So, Daniel, you've
Fabulous.
got 3 seconds. Brilliant. You've got 3 seconds, Daniel, and then you'll be in the broadcast.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys, for taking my question. The question relates to downloading the videos after they have gone live. So I've noticed that the quality of the video is pretty decent once we're live, and when I watch it on Facebook and blow it up on the screen, it's not super crisp, but it's decent. But then when I download it, even when I go to the page source code on Facebook, download the original video, it's not in the same quality as what is appearing on Facebook. And so I'm trying to figure out, how can we get the same quality download for repurposing?
Right. Now, the video is actually being stored by Facebook. So Facebook determined the quality. And if we go back to earlier this year, they were actually storing in HD, which meant that when you did do the download, it was in high definition. Now, the current situation, as you quite rightly say, is that the quality of the downloads from Facebook is not as good as it was. Bridgetti, have you got any thoughts on it? Well, I'm thinking.
Yes, currently, if you're using Facebook natively, you definitely get the HD quality. But for now, with Be Live, unfortunately, it's only allowing us to download it not on HD. It's not an option that's currently available. If Facebook does make that available to us at a later stage, then very definitely it will be made available to everyone, because I think that's what we all would like, isn't it? Especially for repurposing.
Well, indeed, because, I mean, like yourself, Daniel, we all want to repurpose the videos on YouTube or Vimeo or and other sites, so we're all batting for the same side, as it were.
Right.
Do you have any further thoughts on that?
Is there any way that you guys have, or any plans that you know of, for Be Live TV to record its own version of the interview or the video, so that you can repurpose it and don't have to download it from Facebook?
Currently, it's not available, Daniel, but we do have a wish list that we are passing on to the developers. And I think that's a great add to the wish list.
Okay, cool. And I know you guys are thinking about YouTube. Is that right?
Right, okay. Just to clarify, Bridgetti and I are moderators in the Be Livers group, and we are part of the mentors group, which is Be Live in 5. We are not part of BeLive.tv.
Okay.
We're independent. We have insights as to what's going on, but BeLive.tv is run by Safria and Daniel. And what we've just been talking about, Bridgetti and I, is actually doing a show with either one or both of them, where you'll get a chance to put the question directly. So we're working on that one.
Okay.
Right. Do you have any further questions about the system at all?
No, that's it. I appreciate your time.
Right. Most welcome.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well, that got us off to a good start. I just wish we'd been able to give a definitive answer in that case, but I want to say thank you to Daniel for joining us, and welcome to the show, everybody. If you are enjoying the show, then please share. We're going out live from the Be Live in 5 page. We're live in the Be Livers group. Hello, everybody in the Be Livers group, to all our friends in there. And we are Be Live in 5. And there are 2 parts to what we do. Shall we explain them?
Yes, sure.
All right. So I'll explain there's a Udemy course, which Tina Shang and I created back in May, released early June. We now have over 1,300 students on the course, and it takes you through setting up your own show on BeLive.tv. It talks about the camera, it talks about using the agenda, it talks about planning a show, and it actually takes you all the way through to actually going live on BeLive.tv. Now, the course itself is free, and we'll place the link in the post afterwards. The other part of the course, however, is equally as important. Sorry, do you want to speak about the course, Bridgetti? Sorry.
Yes, the other part of the course. So the first step is that you take the Udemy course, and it's very, very comprehensive. If you're starting at a point where this is your first live broadcast, it is absolutely essential that you take the Udemy course, because it'll make you feel empowered from the moment that you start. So once you've done the Udemy course, you would want to book some time. There are mentors in the BeLive in 5 group. We all have calendars, and because we're all in different time zones, we can accommodate almost anyone. So once you've done the Udemy course, please go and book some calendar time with us in the BeLive in 5 group. And what we'll do is we will take you through from the beginning, from where you start your planning your live broadcast. We will actually go live with you at the same time, so that at no point, if you get stuck for any reason at all, we are right there with you. And that will also help you with your camera confidence. Because the very first time you go live on camera, even if you are a seasoned business person or entrepreneur, it's always unnerving when you go on camera for the first time. So just knowing that you're not entirely on your own, it's going to give you a good head start when you go live with any one of the mentors for the very first time.
And like the Udemy course, the mentoring is totally free. All you have to do is connect with us on BeLive in 5, or mention it in the BeLivers group, and one of us, and there are 8 of us, will get in touch with you and make all the arrangements. But the Udemy course is free. Just click it, take it. It's 30 minutes long, and it gives you an inside view of how BeLive.tv works. Now, the next thing that we do now on our question and answer session is that we answer some questions. And the first question, the test broadcasts. Somebody did a test broadcast and didn't get the expected results, did they?
There's many reasons why that happens, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's sometimes because they said there's usually something wrong in the setup process, and it's not a very complicated thing. There's a few things that we need to run through. There's the privacy settings. We need to make sure that they're selecting the correct camera, they're selecting the correct microphone, and that's especially true if you're using an external camera or an external microphone. You want to make sure that that has been selected. You want to make sure that you are using the Chrome browser and that your Chrome browser is up to date. You also want to make sure that your internet speed, and we repeat this every week, and there's a reason why we repeat it every week, isn't it, Stephen? Because it's a common problem, and it's something that we overlook.
It is because,
and I think
because the internet speed relates not only to the person hosting the show, but to the guests, doesn't it? Because if the guest doesn't have sufficient internet speed, then that contributes to a low quality broadcast. So you've got to both have good internet.
That's correct. And you also want to ensure that your guest is wearing a headset, so that we don't get any feedback. Both you and your guest is wearing a headset. You also want to ensure that you've got good enough lighting, not only yourself as the host, but your guest, because if you're wanting to have a good overall broadcast, you need to make sure the experience is good for both the host and the guest, not only for the host. And you want to arrange all of this in advance with your guest. And we encourage people to make sure that they're online with their guest at least 20 minutes before the show, so that if there are any hiccups of any kind, you have time to fix those. The other thing I think the other thing that we also need to remember is that you can only start a show from your desktop. You can have a guest that can join on Android or iOS or from a desktop, but you can only start a BeLive TV broadcast from your laptop. You cannot initiate it from a mobile device.
That answered two
that
questions.
answers that question. Yeah.
Answered two questions in one go. Now, you mentioned a moment ago application privacy settings. There is a video on YouTube, and I'm just going to post a link on Facebook. And it's easy. I mean, by default, BeLive.tv sets any post that it does to friends only. If you want to change that permanently, then this video, and the link is in the post, this video will allow you to do that and show you how to do it. So, short video, a couple of minutes, just watch that, and you can then permanently set your privacy settings for all future BeLive broadcasts. If you broadcast and it is set to friends, then you can go to the post and you can click that one post, you can change it to public.
Stephen, I think at this point I also want to mention to people, because there's also a question that comes up about whether or not you can broadcast to a private group or a secret group. Actually, can you broadcast to a secret group, and can you broadcast to a group? You absolutely can. What you need to remember is that your broadcast will take on the privacy settings of the group or the page that you are broadcasting to. In other words, if you choose to broadcast to a secret group, no one else will be able to access or see that video. It will only be played to the secret group. So yes, you absolutely can broadcast either to a page or to a group or on your timeline. So those are the options that you've got with your broadcast.
We're going through these. We're doing well. Right. Okay. Now, next on our, if we go to this one next, so we've got down to, if April's still watching, this one is for April. Keeping Chrome up to date. As there are changes in Chrome and enhancements in Chrome, it is a good idea to actually keep your browser up to date by checking perhaps every week. How often would you think, Bridgetti? Every week or so? Or?
Stephen, I'm on a MacBook, so mine is set to update automatically. You know, you can,
right.
You do have the option to set it. So I don't need to check. Mine is always updated. I occasionally go and check, but I've never had a problem. I haven't been on a Windows computer for many years, so I'm not too sure about Windows that you physically have to go and check. I'm assuming that's the case.
Again, you can set it to do it automatically, but I think some people are a bit wary of automatic updates, especially Windows updates.
I think
so. It's nice to know in advance. Nice to know in advance. To everybody watching, this is Bridgetti and Stephen, and we are part of BeLive in 5, which is support team, real support team for BeLive.tv. And we're
Stephen, can I backtrack a little?
Of course you can.
I did mention earlier that, you know, if you're using an external microphone or camera, you as the host want to make sure you've got the correct one selected. But you also want to do that for your guest. When your guest is joining, you want to let them know that before they click on connect camera, there's a little gear icon that they can click on, and that gear icon will give them the option to make sure they're selecting the correct camera and microphone before they connect to the show.
Just a moment. I'm not sure. No, I thought I had a photograph to actually demonstrate that. No, I'll get one for next week, and then we can actually show people exactly what the cog looks like.
Because I think that's where some people come unstuck at that point as well. So it would be great for us to have something to share about that as well.
Yeah, so we'll build up our library. I mean, indeed, it is. If you should not leave the microphone as a default microphone. We've seen people do that, and basically there's no sound on the video. So always select your camera and your microphone, and make sure they're the ones that you want to use. Now, you can quite happily broadcast on BeLive.tv and hello, Christine.
Hi, Christine.
You can broadcast with your internal camera and microphone. There's no problem with that. If you are repurposing, though, I think that if you're going to repurpose it and you want better quality, then an external camera and microphone might be a good idea.
Yes, absolutely. Look, when you're starting out and you're broadcasting, you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money to get started in broadcasting. You can absolutely use what you have. But if you get to the point where you want to improve the quality of your broadcast, then you can go and invest in something like a condenser microphone if you're wanting a great sound quality output. The other thing I wanted to mention that's also on our list of things that we wanted to discuss today is clearing your cache. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this, Stephen, but I've lately noticed that Facebook takes up so much resources of your computer. So we want to ask people, clear your cache before you start your broadcast. Do not keep Messenger open on Facebook so that you can have some means of corresponding with your guest, but close down the other windows. Some people, when they start a broadcast, they will let their viewers know they're doing some housekeeping and they're sharing on their pages or groups or whatever. And that's perfectly okay. But once you've done that, close down that window. One, there's a lag. So you're going to confuse yourself terribly trying to watch the broadcast on Facebook and trying to watch it in the production studio. Only manage your show from within the production studio. Do not try and do that from Facebook. It'll confuse you because there is a slight time delay. And also you're going to be wasting computer resources and it's going to affect the quality of your broadcast. So only use the production studio. Your messages from Facebook appears in there. The people that are in the green room are in the production studio. Everything happens from the production studio. You don't need anything else. Is that right, Stephen?
That's right. I mean, you just need the Messenger tab to actually talk to people in case there is a problem, and this tab, which is the production studio. And on the production studio, I can see the output to Facebook, so I know what it looks like on the screen on Facebook. I can see myself from Bridgetti in the 2 of the 3 seats, which are live. I can see everybody who's in the lobby. I can see the pictures I'm bringing on, and I can see all your comments in the right-hand side of the screen. And when someone makes a comment, I can just click one button and magically bring it up on screen and say, hello, Miles. Miles and I know each other from a site called empire.cred, which Miles and I know about and enjoy, but very few people have heard of. It's a well-kept secret. So Miles is joined us today. Thank you for joining us. And he said he's narrowing my FB Live broadcasting options down to BeLive TV or Zoom video. Right. Okay. So we're here on behalf of BeLive.tv to say that we both enjoy using BeLive.tv, and the reasons that we're on BeLive.tv are as follows. BeLive.tv has an active community. Yes, Miles. Okay, we can see you waving. As an active community, there are over 2,300 people in the community, which is a small percentage of the people actually using the system. And there's a great support group in there. There's the BeLivers group. There is the BeLive in 5 initiative, which Bridgetti and I are part of. And we are able to mentor people and help everybody and answer questions. And our team includes Tina, April, David, and Peter. So those are the team. The other thing is, technically, the quality of and the simplicity of BeLive.tv is just so easy to use. You create the broadcast, you can schedule it if you wish, and then when you go live, you've got everything at your fingertips. I just described, and I'd like to say hello at this point to our friend.
Hi, Marky.
Indeed. So to everybody who's watching, thank you. If you are enjoying the show, then our only call to action in this show is please share. And if you could share the show, then that'd be brilliant. Now, what we're doing in this weekly show is that we're doing a reprise of the questions that have been asked within the Belivers group. Sorry, Bridgetti, before I get carried away, what advantages do you see on BeLive.tv? My apologies for that.
I beg your pardon?
What do you think the advantages of BeLive.tv are?
Stephen, I absolutely love the fact that you can acknowledge your viewers. To me, that is such a huge plus, because when people join you in your show, you can highlight their questions on screen. It's a way of acknowledging their presence, and people love that. It's also great that, you know, as opposed to using Facebook Live natively, you can have up to 2 guests. And you can also have people waiting, and you can rotate people in and out of the seats, which is, you know, not optional with Facebook Live natively at the moment. You can also share your screen. You can, so whatever's on your screen, you can play. You can play a video. Obviously, the sound is coming through your microphone at this point, so don't expect a high quality video, but you can do it. The function is available. You can display pictures. You can show slides. You can also schedule your show in advance so that people know that it's coming. It can be added into their calendar. What else is there?
Well, it's just the ease and simplicity, the recording afterwards. I think at this stage we want to mention price. I'm not going to mention the Zoom prices, but I know what they are. All I can say is that the price of BeLive.tv is $25 a month, and that's for all you can eat. You've got, as Bridgetti said, picture sharing, screen sharing, recording afterwards, 3 people on camera, 10 people in the lobby. You've got full integration. Now, I understand with the product you mentioned that you have to upgrade and upgrade again to get the integration into Facebook. For the $25 a month, Facebook is fully integrated. And I just want to prove a point here. And I'm just going to say hello to Miles, because this is important. I've been able to post a comment there, and that comment should come through to Facebook in a moment. And just to prove the point, I can do 2-way commenting. I can read all the comments, but I can also answer them in text as well, live from the one screen. So it's not just being able to read them, I can write too. So
right.
If you're not already doing so, Miles, I would definitely take a look at the 14-day trial. I'd take a look at the free Udemy course, which will give you insights into exactly how the system works, and we'll put a link in afterwards. And if you want to know, well, we might be slightly biased, but not wholly biased. If you go into the Belivers group, and I think you remember that already, then ask any questions in there and you'll get informed answers about every aspect of BeLive.tv. And the other thing I want to mention at this point is that Daniel and Safria, who are the CEO and CTO, respectively of BeLive.tv, are in the group too. So you can actually write to them and speak to them in text directly. The other thing you can do is you can also make contact with everybody who has their own show on BeLive.tv, and that's Jeff Adams, Joel Kahn, Molly Maloney, Rachel Moore, all have
Maury
shows on,
Smith, yeah.
and Maury Smith are all members of Belivers group, so you can actually contact those 5 individuals from within the group as well. Right, so that's our sales pitch. We're going to have to rehearse that one, aren't we? When somebody asks us again, well, we need a checklist. I'm bringing it up on screen and we'll go through it. Oh. Right.
Stephen, there was a question there from Miles. I couldn't read the entire question.
Right. Right, okay. And Miles is saying, can I have a private meeting using BeLive.tv that no one besides me and the client? Right, okay. Yes, you can. There are two options, 2 ways you can do that. Bridgetti, you want to go through how that can be achieved?
You can do that if you have a private or a secret group, and you invite that person into that secret group for that meeting. So that's the one way that you can do it. Are you wanting to? I just need to understand why Miles would want to do that. What is the purpose for wanting to host a private meeting?
Okay, there are programs, web conferencing programs, that allow people to get together as a group and just chat to each other without actually going out on Facebook. So the second answer to your question is,
thanks,
one,
Christine.
If you go out to Facebook, you'll get a recording of the show, which will still be private. So that's the advantage of doing, as Bridgetti suggests, go into a Facebook private group, just the 2 of you as members, and the video will be recorded there. You can both then download it after. If you don't want a recording, then you can just do on BeLive.tv a test broadcast. And basically with a test broadcast, it doesn't go live anywhere. You can come into the room, you can chat for 2 hours, or possibly longer. I'm going to guarantee 2 hours. You can chat for 2 hours in the room with 3 of you actually on the screen talking, and up to 10 people down below who you can bring on and off screen. So as a mini web conferencing system, it would work very well, because you could also
yeah, that works very well. I've done that, and you don't go live, so no one else is going to be aware of that broadcast happening. It's a great way of doing it.
Right, now to catch up, we think it's nice too. We think it's pretty neat. All right, okay, well, that's not a hurdle. As we just described, there are 2 ways to achieve that straight away, out of the can. You don't need to change anything. BeLive have catered for that. And just want to get the comment by Antonio. You can do it. You can do it. It's just, so Antonio is saying it as well. And
yes, hi Antonio.
Hi, he's a fellow moderator in the BeLivers group. And just to shout out for Antonio, every day in the BeLivers group we have this short video. Well, Antonio is the person who actually produces them. So thank you for that, Antonio. Christine?
Yes, he does. And I like Antonio. Thank you for every day. He's got a little hint that he posts there, and it's always great inspiration to get those little tips every day. So thank you, Antonio, for sharing that.
Brilliant. And Christine just says she's got to recharge her battery. Well, I'm looking forward to recharging my batteries because it's the weekend. And I've been asked not to mention cricket, but I shall be watching the cricket tomorrow. And as you know, I'm in Wiltshire in England, and Bridgetti is in Cape Town in South Africa. What you don't know is that the Oval is a cricket ground in England, and there's a cricket match going on at the moment between England and South Africa. And the only thing I can say, without going too far, is that it's been England's day so far. Right, back to the comments and back to the show. And Miles is saying, my salesperson on Zoom is going to be disappointed, but you've convinced me. Affiliate link, or just go to the site. Just go to the site, and as soon as you go to the site, you get a 14-day free trial, so you can check it out. You can check out 2 people. You've got question and answer, which is just you on screen. face-to-face, 2 on screen, and then talk show, which is 3 people on screen. And just try them. And if you have any questions at all, then ask Bridgetti or I or Antonio, and we'll join you.
I think an important thing for Miles to know there also is if you starting out a show, you need to know that if you use question and answer, you cannot start your broadcast until your guest has joined you as well. The difference is that if you start your broadcast using talk show, you can start your broadcast only by yourself, and at any point during that time, you can bring in guests or guests at any point. So to be aware of that difference between Q&A and talk show.
Yeah. And do check out the Udemy course, and the link is in the thread, and that is free, and it gives you a rundown of the main features of BeLive.tv. And if you need help after that, then Bridgetti and I and the BeLive in 5 team are more than willing to mentor you free of charge. 15-minute free 15-minute session showing you the main aspects of BeLive.tv. But I know you broadcast before, but if you do have any questions, then please get in touch. And doing it now. Brilliant. Right, okay.
Stephen, I'm having a look at our list here.
Yeah.
One thing that we haven't covered yet is we did say we can do screen share, but the question was also asked, can guests share their screen? And the answer to that is no. The screen sharing is only available to the host.
Indeed it is. It's basically, that's the way it is. So if there was an app you want to show, then let them send you a copy and you can share it on their behalf. There are long-winded ways of doing it, but the BeLive.tv way of working is to keep it simple. So keeping it simple, screen sharing is just for hosts.
Right. And then the other thing that we actually demonstrated that last week was if you are experiencing a problem of any kind, either yourself or your guest, then refresh your screen, refresh your browser. And we suggested last week that if you as the host, if you have that choice at all, then refresh your browser when you have your guest speaking. So that way people won't miss you on screen. If you refresh your browser when you're having an issue, it's not going to kick you out of the show. It's not going to end the show, because the only way the show can be ended is if you click on end the broadcast. And BeLive has got a built-in protection mechanism, so you have to select to end it twice on 2 separate occasions. So it protects you from ending your broadcast prematurely. So understand that when you're refreshing your browser, because you're having difficulties with either your internet speed, which is usually the case, it'll give you problems with your sound or your visuals. All you need to do is refresh, and that generally will fix the problem, and you come back into the broadcast.
Indeed, it's that straightforward. And Bridgetti and I can speak from experience, because we did demonstrate it last week when I disappeared off camera. I refreshed my browser and came back, and we've had it happen in shows that if you or your guest are having a problem, a refresh will cure it 99 times out of 100. But don't quote us on that, but it is pretty close. Now, we're coming up towards the end of the show. We've got some topics which we'll carry forward till next week. I think are we okay with that? Because we always come back to topics.
I think so, yes.
Right. Now, we want to wish you all a wonderful weekend and remind you that you can catch on Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern, BeLive Weekly Show with host Jeff Adams and that chap on the left, which is me. And Jeff will have a guest, and I'll be talking about tips and tricks for BeLive.tv. And I'm looking forward to that. It's always a good show, as is this. And Bridgetti, it's been a great session. We've started off with a guest. What could be better?
Absolutely. I loved that. I really enjoyed that. So if anyone is watching this on the replay and you have any further questions, please drop us a comment and we'll get back to you on that. And thank you for joining us. And so from me, Bridgetti Limbanda in Cape Town, South Africa, I'm wishing you all a great weekend ahead.
And from Stephen in Wiltshire, England, I agree with everything that Bridgetti said. Take care, and we'll see you again at the same time next week. Bye for now. And if you just joined us, the replay will start shortly. But thank you, and we see you next week. Right, so closing the broadcast down.